Hi Taurus, welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. If you're looking for April love readings, they're already posted. Just look on my channel. These are general focus readings for April. I do both types, so they can cover all kinds of issues. As I'm putting out these cards, I wanted to tell you that you're going to have a new moon in your sign on April 26th. So happy birthday for you first decan Taurus people, the first 10 days of the month. So that is going to be happening in April for you, your birthday, your solar return. Happy birthday. And you're going to have your new moon is going to be in that first decan. It's going to be at 6 degrees, I believe, of Taurus on April 26th. So if you're born around, I would say, April 26th, I was thinking of 6 degrees, but I was like, dope. It's April 26th. If you're born around that date, then you should be especially interested, because that's going to be right there for your new beginnings. And what's the other stuff happening? We're going to have a full moon on approximately April 11th, maybe April 10th in some areas, in Libra. And so for you, Libra is your 8th house of, no, actually it's your 6th house of health. So that could be any issue coming up with that's brought to the surface. You know, it's a very purging or purifying time, the full moon. It's a great time to quit bad habits after the full moon or during the full moon, because it's pushing away things. So you may come to terms with something, or something comes into your awareness regarding your health. It could have to do with your work environment, though, too. Maybe you're going to be ending a certain job or assignment in a certain place, or maybe you're just finding out things about coworkers, you know, that you didn't know. It could have to do with, if you've been having issues on the job, then the full moon kind of like, oh, so that's what they've been doing. So we'll see if the cards kind of go along with that. And Mars is in your sign. Now, I probably should have seen if it's going to be there all month. I'm assuming it is. It's going into Taurus actually in March. So by April, it'll still be in your sign. I just am not sure when it goes into Gemini. But at least part of the month. And you know, when Mars is in your sign, it's going to make you feel very alive. Just like having the sun coming back into your sign. This can give you physical energy. You know, maybe you're feeling a little bit like spacey, draggy, and that gives you that sense of like coming back, roaring back to life. As a matter of fact, that might be why I'm feeling a little spacey myself, because I have Mars in the 12th house probably. So once I have Taurus rising, once you have that in the first house, you're like, wow, you know, now I can just feel energetic. Wow. Been getting these themes of like multiple cards that kind of go along with one another. And in the last reading, I got like 2 kings. Now I have a king and 2 queens. And, you know, this can be fathers and mothers. Or 2 2 baby mamas and 1 man, 1 father. I hope not. I really hope not. Not one of those situations. So we have as the central focus the Queen of Wands, which can represent a woman who is a career woman and is very positive in her behavior and her thoughts, and she's very cheerful. See, she's holding a sunflower, the sunny moods, but it's that masculine and feminine principle. The wands represent fire energy. So this could be someone who is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But more importantly, that enthusiasm that's associated with those signs and that element of fire that is coupled with a queen, which is a feminine energy, is more intuitive and internal than this kind of out there fire energy that's more career oriented versus more domestic, the feminine energy. So someone who, for instance, a woman who is a mother but who has a career and who wants to do both. And this can also be a female boss. But if it is a female boss, it's somebody who is very, very supportive, isn't somebody who is, like if I had gotten her in the reverse position, then she may be more problematic than good. This person can be a little bit of a diva sometimes, but means well, is not like a negative personality. She wants everybody, I'm sure she wants everybody to succeed, but she might want to be the queen bee, the person who's, you know, the centralized figure. And in terms of your personal relationships, this could be a situation of feeling like you are this person. Maybe you feel empowered for some reason. It could involve somebody else that is, you know, indirectly in your life. If you have some kind of a lover's triangle going on, could be the person who, you know, you're obsessed with. Taurus can be obsessed with people. You know, you are the opposite sign of Scorpio, and you're both fixed signs. Fixed signs can fixate on something. If you're in a lover's situation and you have a partner who maybe had an ex who was the mother of his child, and you're obsessed with her, you're trying to compare yourself to her, and you're trying to compete with her, to me, this man wants you. So maybe you're the one that you're allowing your insecurities to get the best of you. In the past position, we have the Eight of Wands, and this could have been that things developed very quickly, and maybe too quickly. Maybe there was, maybe you got involved with somebody. I just had this for Aries. Maybe you know, kind of got involved with somebody very quickly and got pregnant very quickly. And now you're in this position, but you may not even know this person all that well. I was saying that, I swear to God, I was saying that without looking at the higher message. This is the higher message. It's telling you that you may not know all the facts of this situation. And this could even be, you know, in the workplace too. This could be like, you know, you suddenly find yourself in a new job, and yet there's something that's not quite right. It's too good to be true. They're telling you all kinds of stuff that may not be what's really happening. And, you know, that kind of stuff happens a lot. Maybe, well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it does happen sometimes where you're fed this, you know, fantasy of what the situation is going to be, and come to find out it's not anything near what they said it was. So in the private relationship, same thing. There could be deception happening. Don't be naive because you want something to be what it is. If you are pregnant, and the moon can also indicate, you know, that kind of fertility. But if you are pregnant, don't allow your pregnancy to blind you to what's happening, because you maybe you thought it was going to be a certain way, and it just isn't. The higher message is the 10 of Cups. And this could also relate to a Pisces, by the way. 10 of Cups, but it's in the challenge position. So something is keeping you from having a happy family or a happy marriage. Maybe, you know, you find out. Sometimes when I see the 8 of Wands, it's like you find out something about someone that you're with, perhaps, maybe. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, it could be just that. Oh yeah, you know, here's the other thing too. Because you're having this full moon in the 6th house, it could be that you are that's showing the ending of this job, you know. But, you know, even if that's the case, I feel like you are in a good position. If you are the Queen of Wands, I feel like you have control over your life to the point where you can get another job easily, that it's not going to be. But it may be that you feel that sense of disruption because perhaps you were counting on something. Maybe you wanted to go on an Easter vacation or, you know, spring vacation, and you feel like, oh, now I can't do that, or something. If your job is terminated for some reason, then that can indicate that. The Moon card, though, tends to talk about things not being as they are. So to me, when I see something like that, I usually see that the other person, which is the so-called victim, is choosing not to see things as they are also, that they're not being very straight with themselves. So perhaps there was something that happened in the past that should have tipped you off, that you may be at the, you know, your job may be in jeopardy, and you ignored it because you thought, you believed what these people were saying because they were the authority figures. But maybe that was just a ruse because they wanted to string you along for some reasons, because they needed you until they didn't need you. You know, when you have the King and the Queen in these current situations, it could be that, like, in terms of like the corporate people have come into the situation and they're taking over. And maybe they're taking over because they know they're going to shut things down, but they're maintaining this illusion for the time being. Another thing that could be happening in personal relationships is that you're playing the role of father and mother. You're not, I'm getting 2 cards that deal with possible secrets being kept, okay? So you may be in a marriage where, and this may, by the way, this may be a sudden marriage as evidenced by the 8 of Wands, but you may be stuck in these roles that are kind of the stereotypical father and mother, but you're not really interacting with one another on that soulful level. You're just going through the motions because you have a child together. That might be what it is for the personal type of relationships. And that's too bad, because that kind of relationship is probably not going to last if you keep this up much longer. So something has to give. You have a moon in your sign at the end of the month on the 26th in your sign. So this is going to be the ending of some aspect to yourself. And so maybe you will decide, you know, I can't keep up this charade much longer. And so I'm just going to be myself now and let the chips fall where they may. And the fallen chips may be that you end up getting divorced. Maybe you haven't been married that long. But, you know, please, whatever happens, if there is some kind of like deception going on, you don't want to be in a relationship that's kind of a fraud, that's there in name only. The advice or what's coming in is the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be about somebody who is, I always think of as a single mother who's taking care of her children. But I just feel like, as I said I think I got that card also for Aries, understanding that it's really, there are good things about this, that you have, count your blessings because they're there. You may have a wonderful house, you may have a beautiful family, but this is like material things because of the Pentacles. You may have a really nice life in many ways, and maybe you did get deceived, but now things are coming out and you're able to move on with your life, and you're able to not be in the dark. You know, that's what these cards represent. And the outcome is the High Priestess, which is again finding out everything, you know, revealing these secrets, and also connecting with your higher self so that you can have a more, what would I say, balanced or happier life, not such a deluded life, a life that you're living in denial, and also to be less materialistic if you find that you are, or you have been in the past as a Taurus person, you know, to kind of embrace the spiritual side of life if you have been neglecting that, because the High Priestess is about contacting or connecting with your higher self, and that provides you with the intuition to make good decisions in the future. One of the key words of the Moon card is confusion, and sometimes that confusion comes about because people are not used to tuning into themselves. They look to the outside world to provide cues on what to do, and if somebody is lying to you, that's not going to be a good cue to follow. So yeah, it's about getting more into that aspect. And when for most of the month you have Aries in that hidden sector in the 12th house, that's another thing that could be happening too, is that it's shining a light on stuff, that secrets, things that have been kind of kept from you. And that may be when all of this is kind of, you know, dislodging itself, all of these secrets, and coming to the light of day, so to speak. And you may be like unnerved by it, you know. But I just saw that quote, you know, it's not a new quote or anything, but it says sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I think I might use that as the title of this. But it's a little bit enigmatic, I suppose, but I think you can, you'll figure it out if you actually stick around and watch the whole thing, right? So those people that like to cut to the chase, they may not ever find out exactly why I said that, but you that stuck with me will know why. So I hope that you enjoyed this, Taurus. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great April. Bye.